Amazon sellers often lose 1 to 3% of their yearly inventory value because of issues that qualify for reimbursements. In this video, we'll explain the recent changes to Amazon's reimbursement timelines and show you how to file claims quickly to get more money you are owed, especially during the busy Q4 season. If you need help recovering your reimbursements, check out Getida and find the special offer in the video description below.
Hello, Lisa. I'm really happy to have you back on Orange Klik channel today to share with us some very good tips for Q4 to help Amazon sellers to succeed in the very end of this year or also next year if they watch this video later. But as always, before we start, could you first introduce yourself and also tell us a little bit what Getida is and how do you usually help Amazon sellers?
Yeah, absolutely, Lisette. Thank you so much for having me back. My name is Lisa Kinskey. I'm the Marketing and Partnerships Manager here at Getida, and we are the global leader in Amazon FBA auditing and reimbursements. So we are geared towards helping sellers to increase their profitability through auditing and filing those reimbursement claims. There's been a lot of discussion lately about reimbursement windows. I'm going to talk a little bit about that in my presentation, and I know that there's a live on the channel as well with our VP of Sales and Go-to-Market, Lucas Ados, that you guys can check out where he's going to go in depth. But definitely still a very hot topic at the time of recording early November, and will continue to be a service that sellers need. And I'll kind of get into why at the end of the presentation today.
Okay, very cool. As always, you prepared the presentation for us to kind of dive a little bit deeper into the tips you gather for us. And yeah, let's not wait further. Open your screen and we're ready to learn from you.
Let's just jump straight into it, like Lisette said. So first of all, we need to understand the opportunity that exists for Amazon sellers in Q4. Now, I will say the majority of my data here is focused on the U.S. marketplace, as it is the largest Amazon marketplace. That is where Getida is based out of, though we do help sellers globally. I know a lot of the audience is European-based, selling in the U.S., so that's why my data is focused here. So first things first, we have a couple of major holidays coming up, most namely Black Friday and Cyber Monday. We also, very exciting, have Christmas and Hanukkah starting on the same day this year. It's been a long time since the calendars have aligned to where we can celebrate Christmaka, as we affectionately call it in our household. And then Boxing Day is actually the day after Christmas on December 26th. That is a huge, huge purchasing day for Canada. So wanted to be sure to give that a little bit of airtime here too. So lots of opportunities for shopping, probably beginning now, if not a couple of weeks ago. And so sellers should begin to see those increased order counts at the beginning of the quarter. Now, I wanted to give some interesting statistics here of what we can expect to see as far as maybe projections for this quarter in 2024. In 2023, holiday sales grew 3.8% year over year to a record $964.4 billion in the U.S. This is a U.S. Consumer Report by the National Retail Federation. And they did a quick analysis of the categories that grew. So 7 out of the 9 major retail categories increased last year, most namely electronics and health and personal care. We can also see there that clothing, general online shops, general merchandise, grocery, sporting goods. So if you're selling any of those electronics, I know they can be a little tricky sometimes on Amazon with batteries, or there was a partner who said that they hated doing electronics because it required a charger. And it was like, well, if just the charger breaks, you got to replace the whole thing. But maybe if you've got it dialed down, this will be a really solid season for you, or for those health and personal care items. So huge opportunity for growth, a huge opportunity for success this quarter. And let's just talk about a couple of the tips that I've prepared for you guys today. So first things first, you've got to be sure that you have inventory on hand to manage this increased demand, right? So you want to look at last Q4's data, looking at the inventory performance index to be sure that you are within the necessary stock that Amazon will allow with an FBA, and be able to create some projections of what you did last year, looking at your performance this year. Has the store grown? And then, of course, increasing your inventory to have available on hand. Be sure that you're ordering early. I know that juggling the inventory limits with FBA can be a little bit difficult. You don't want to order too early and have too much because then you're overcharged. But then if you have too little, it's a really complicated it's a complicated facet of running an Amazon business. So this is one of the reasons that I always recommend having a 3PL partner to leverage and essentially drip feed into FBA. There's two stateside 3PLs that I recommend: Tactical Logistics Solutions. They are based out of New Jersey. And then Zon Prep, which is actually based out of Georgia, where I am, that have enormous capability for 3PL services, FBA prep, shipping, and logistics that can help you stay on top of your inventory and not stock out, because that's really the most important piece here, is to not stock out during the holiday season. So be sure that you are monitoring your inventory carefully to avoid those stock outs, leveraging your 3PL to feed your FBA inventory, and have a solid projection of how much you should be ordering to have on hand. And once you have enough inventory in stock, you'll want to be sure to optimize those product listings. So I have a fun video over here that I borrowed from a friend, John Aspinall, over at the Pick Food team, where he is showing us very quickly how you can increase the conversion of a product, the main image, just by making it look more realistic. So he goes on to say here that real fruit converts so much better than fake fruit because it looks more like a true image that was taken as opposed to something AI generated, though some of the AI ones are good. But you can very easily do this through Canva. And then if you're like, well, does it really make a difference if it's real fruit, fake fruit, or should I have, a family celebrating Christmas versus not celebrating Christmas? I mean, anything that you need to run to compare itself to know which images are going to perform best, you can run through Pick Food. This is unpaid, truly just love their product and their team. They are able to help so many sellers identify what works best through their polls. And then if you maybe don't have the opportunity or the Canvas skills that John has here, you can create some really impressive AI content through our partner eContent. Again, not a paid sponsorship. They just have a super awesome tool. We've hosted them on our show a couple of times to outline and showcase the capability of their tool. But if you are in a pinch and you need some optimized images for the holiday season, let's say that you have a product that is great for gifting to your boss, or specifically it's a Hanukkah gift instead of a Christmas gift, or anything of that variety, you can come up with a really solid image through eContent very, very quickly. So on top of your images, be sure that your bullet points and your titles are optimized as well. Those bullet points are huge. I don't know about you, Lisette, but I do a lot of shopping for kids during the holiday season, and I am looking to be sure that it is going to the toy or clothing item or whatever that I am looking at. Not only does the title align with the age bracket that I'm looking for, but also the bullet points. And I'm looking to be sure that that is represented on the product as well. Because sometimes you look at a product and it says rated for kids 3 and up. And then the listing says great for kids ages 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just be sure everything aligns and is very clear to the consumer to increase those conversion rates. And then, of course, leverage all of your A+ content available on the detail pages so that you can increase those conversions. Moving on now to keyword research. You guys, there are so many behemoths in the space that can help you with the keyword research. This is not my area of expertise, but some things that I do know to be true are you need to include those seasonal keywords in your listings. So be sure you're including Christmas, again, Hanukkah. If people are searching like Black Friday deals, usually those will come up on deal days, etc. But think about what people are going to be searching. I really wanted to call out this recommendation here of like gifts under $20, unique Christmas mugs for Christmas. Coffee mugs for Christmas. Think about what people are going to be searching. A lot of folks are under financial pressure right now. So even though we do expect there to be more spending, folks are going less for the super expensive gifts, I think. And especially as people have these holiday parties with like White Elephant or Dirty Santa, you're looking for something cheap, small, that can be gifted out easily. So considering doing some of those keywords within certain price brackets, I think is a really smart strategy to employ. Also, be sure that you're analyzing your competitors and seeing what it is that is top performing for them, and then identifying some of the gaps in their keyword coverage. So, any specific niche categories like last minute, or if you have a product that's maybe made out of bamboo, go with eco friendly, or maybe if it is for specifically neurodevelopment for children, like be sure that you are hitting those niche categories within your keywords as well. And then, of course, updating your PPC campaigns for the seasonality as well. And that goes next to our recommendation of running an effective PPC campaign. So be sure that you're increasing your bids. I almost want to say that I wish this wasn't the case anymore, but like Amazon is pay to play, friends. We know this. It's been a pay to play marketplace for a long time. And there are experts out there that can help you optimize these PPC campaigns. It is very easy to spend money on these. I don't know, Lisa, if you have any personal experience of any sellers that have kind of spent maybe unnecessarily or didn't have the conversion that they were expecting to with PPC campaigns, but it can get very expensive with no return very quickly. So I highly recommend utilizing a if you don't have an in-house expert, utilizing a service like Jungler. Elizabeth Green over at Jungler is an absolute genius when it comes to PPC. Also not listed here, I forgot to grab the logo, is Ritu Java with PPC Ninja. She does an exceptional job with her clients, helping them to optimize these campaigns for conversion, including the specificity. And then obviously you want real-time reporting and to adjust those ads as need be for success. Another huge thing that I think is important here are to leverage your lightning deals and coupons. So people, especially on Black Friday, Cyber Monday, are looking for the best deals that they can. So be sure that you're applying for the lightning deals early, planning accordingly. And when it comes to your coupon creation, obviously do some math. Be sure that you're not offering a coupon that is going to negatively impact the profit margin of your product. You want it to be enough to entice the shoppers, but not so much that you aren't then making a profit on the back end. And then bundle offers. I think this is interesting. We were having a conversation about this yesterday at my family's house of, they had wished that there was a "you may also like" at the bottom of the products, because they were like, I know I'm going to need this other piece, but why is it not recommended to me? So why not go ahead and either include those recommendations or just bundle it from the beginning? Hey, if you're buying this wheel to fix your dryer at home, which is what we were doing, I know you're going to need this belt. Just bundle them together, and that way it's a one-stop shop for the consumer. LISETT, any thoughts or questions? I've got just a couple more to cover, but we're gonna go through this pretty quickly. Any questions or any thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's a very good point. Utilizing bundles. I think with the bundles, especially the virtual ones, I think they're so easy to set up. Yet a lot of sellers have still not used the feature Amazon offers for free. And the thing is, maybe the sales velocity isn't like huge for all of the bundles, but actually it's very smart to do because it also helps to protect your product detail page, because you will just have more real estate to show off your own product. So definitely a smart thing. And regarding deals and discounts, there's also this Prime exclusive discounts available that sellers can set up. Also a smart thing to do to grab additional attention to the products and to the offers as well. But so far, everything good.
Yeah, awesome. Great points on that. Thank you, LISETT. So next thing here we have is managing your customer success. So I feel very strongly that people care more about leaving a review and giving feedback when it's something that is a gift to someone else, right? So if you purchase a product for yourself and you're maybe less than thrilled about it, you might just return it, not think much about it. But if you are purchasing a gift for a loved one, for a friend, and they are unhappy with it, if it arrives broken, that is then impacting their holiday, your celebration, and you're going to feel much more attached to that. So in the holiday season, it's very important to respond to those questions quickly. If hopefully the such consumer does give you a question first, as opposed to just a negative review, but respond as fast as possible, and automate where possible. There are customer service tool and chatbots available, but really, my personal opinion is having a dedicated person is best. I know it's a little more time consuming, but that way you know that the question gets answered and you're not in this weird feedback loop as a consumer. And then encourage those reviews Obviously, within terms of service, I want to recommend our friends over at Ecom Engine here with their Feedback 5 tool. So they have the capability to automate the request or review message and create custom email requests for the product. Their pricing is based off of the number of orders you have processing through a store each month. So Ecom Engine has a really awesome tool that'll also give you analytics, ratings, alerts, etc., to help you kind of stay within good standing for the sellers with Amazon. And then of course, the higher your ratings are, the more conversions you'll get. So be sure that you're managing your customer success proactively instead of reactively, but also reactively, both ways. Final 2 points here are going to be building that external traffic over to your site. This is something that we've spoken about before on various Getida channels, but Amazon has a really awesome program called the Brand Referral Bonus Program, and they will give you back up to 10% of product sales that are driven by non-Amazon marketing. You can scan the QR code on the screen to learn more. But essentially, any of that traffic that is coming from your various social media channels. So think Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, LinkedIn, anything. That influencer marketing is going to be really huge, especially with these holiday gift guides. I personally, I don't know about you or any of the listeners, I scroll through those curated lists of like best crock pots, best home gifts for the year. I'm served at least one a day, and I'm reading that article. And I know that I know that people are, asking to be in those lists, and I don't care. I need to know who who Oprah, who Forbes, who Cosmopolitan thinks is the best gift to give. So, also, if you obviously have a customer list, hit up that customer list via email to promote the product and any of the deals that you have coming up. And for the influencer marketing, there's a really awesome agency in the space named Levanta who helps you with the management and finding your influencers. Definitely go check them out. I don't want to do the plug here and misrepresent them, but they have a really robust product to help sellers be matched with the influencers and manage them. So definitely go check them out. And then the final recommendation here I have is filing for your FBA reimbursements quickly. So we've always recommended here at Getida for, filing for every reimbursement possible. But recently the windows for the North American markets were shortened, and I have a little calendar to show that here. So FBA inbound shipments thankfully did not change, but we have considerably shorter timelines for lost and damaged units, customer returns, and removal orders. And when we were originally having these conversations prior to this change on October 23rd, we kept saying, it's okay. It's just for North America, hasn't expanded yet, but we know that it will be. The announcement came out a couple of weeks ago that starting January 9th, the timelines for European marketplaces will be changing as well. So we're going to be seeing, again, more uniform reimbursement timelines globally than we had before. So a lot of folks were saying, well, if Amazon's going to be, kind of doing the proactive reimbursement as they have been, and if the windows are shorter, do we need a service like Getida or any of the competitors out there? Absolutely, you do. It is becoming more difficult for sellers to identify those discrepancies and file the claims in a timely manner, more difficult than it ever has been before. So having a trusted partner to file those for you quickly and thoroughly is going to be a huge key to success, not only in Q4, but also going into Q1, because there are so many returns after Q4, right? From the holiday gifts, either things that don't fit, people don't like, items arrive broken, etc. And those customer returns and refunds, everything has gotten so much shorter. So it's important to be sure that you're filing for those reimbursements quickly. And also be sure that you have inventory planning ready for your customer returns and a returns logistics partner. I think that's something that people often forget about. So be sure that you have that locked in as well, and factor in your return rates into the profits for the end of year. Also be sure that you're staying on top of the Amazon announcements such as the timelines changing come out pretty regularly in Seller Central if you're not already living in there, which I'm sure you all are. But be sure that you're staying on top of updates, especially as they relate to inventory, capacity limits, etc., throughout the holiday season. And then just be sure to maintain a growth mindset during the holidays. It is really such opportunity in these last couple of months of the year, and an opportunity to set yourself up for success for the following year. Just stay positive, keep grinding, keep watching content like what is on the Orange Click channel to learn as much as you can. And really, really, that's all that I have for you guys today. I'll go over to the final slide. Or if you have any questions for me or about Getida, you can scan that QR code and get a link to my Popple that has my email address, my LinkedIn, etc. And then we have our offer with the Orange Click community. If you scan that QR code, you'll get your first $400 in FBA reimbursements free. So that means that we will waive our fee for the first $400 that we get you all back from Amazon. There is no sign-up fee, no membership, no monthly commitment, anything like that. And we only get paid when you get paid. So, Lisette, that's short and sweet, but that's all that I have for you today, dear.
Very good. Thank you so much, Lisa. It was very interesting and helpful. And I think you covered very good points from like listing optimizations to running some deals to really get the most out of this Q4. Because as you said, shoppers are on Amazon. They're looking to buy stuff. So sellers need to be visible and need to make sure that their product listings are also converting. As you mentioned the reimbursement part in the end, I actually wanted to ask, I still often meet sellers who are either started out a few years ago and really haven't gone like deep into the reimbursement topic. And sometimes they ask like, why can't I manage these reimbursements like on my own in-house? Why should I have a service like Getida? So maybe can you explain a little bit like why it's so important to partner up with a company like yours? What's the difference of making sure that Amazon has paid out everything they need to pay? Yeah, by using your service, for example, versus trying to do it on your own.
Yeah, for sure. Sellers can definitely manage reimbursements in-house. I'm not here to say that you can't. And if you have an in-house team managing it and they're doing a great job, I am not in the business of, taking people's jobs away by any respect. But what we have found to be true is that on average, 1 to 3% of a seller's annual inventory is impacted by a discrepancy that would warrant a reimbursement. And historically, sellers have had up to 18 months to file for most reimbursement claim types. So you could kind of just go back. You could think about it later. I'll worry about it later. I've got to put out this fire here, that fire here. I'll worry about it later. And now with the timeline changes, that worry about it later window is so much shorter. That's one of the reasons why I feel it's important to leverage a third party such as Getida, because that's all we are focused on. It's not an afterthought. But then when you're talking about the claim filing process itself, we find that most sellers have about a 70% success rate when they're filing for reimbursements in-house. And Getida has over 90% success rate. And a large part of that is because we understand what it is that Amazon is looking for, how to write the claim requests, right? So our claim specialists are largely ex-Amazonians who used to work in Amazon's claims department. So they are writing the claims through the eyes of somebody who would be reading and responding to it. So it's a matter of insider knowledge, expertise versus, hey, I'm a seller wearing 100 other hats. I just need this thing. And if I can't find the paperwork, oh, well, because sometimes I think sellers think it's such a small portion, but in this day and age, every dollar counts. And especially with the shortened timelines, and we actually expect to see more complexity moving forward in terms of documentation, it's important to have an expert on your side to get you back the money that is rightfully owed to you. Amazon has this program to pay back sellers whenever there's an error on their side. So there's no reason to not take advantage of it, just like the new seller incentives or the brand referral program or any of the other awesome programs that they have available, because really Amazon does want their sellers to succeed at the end of the day.
Yeah, good point. And how does the onboarding process work? Because you mentioned that there's no sign-up fee and you only charge when you're able to recover money for Amazon sellers. But if a new seller now would like to join Getida, how does it work? And what's kind of the timeline to get everything up and running?
Yeah, so it's a very fast ramp period. So you can get started essentially in one day, right? So we need you to connect your store to Getida via an API so that we have full visibility into your inventory and can do a thorough analysis. But once we have permission set, it's maybe 48 hours all out. You need some time for the API connection build, and then we will conduct our look back and begin filing right away. There's no sign up fee like I had mentioned before. You just scan the QR code or the link that I'm sure will be in the description of this video, get started through the Orange Klik community, and we can be up and running filing for reimbursements within 3 days. I mean, once we find something, then we're going to get going right away.
So it's a sign to not postpone it to the future, like do it right away, get it from the to-do list. Seems very easy and straightforward process for sure.
Yes.
And yeah, Lisa, as you mentioned, we're also going to put the Getida's link down to the description below so you can easily find it. Or yeah, you can also scan the QR code Lisa shared. And also, if you have any questions about the reimbursements part or also the tips, Lisa, you shared about how to succeed in Q4, you can leave them down to the comments because we can ask Lisa to come back to the video and also answer those additional questions. It was great to have you with me today again. It's always a pleasure to do another video to educate our Amazon sellers community. And I wish you all the best for the Q4 and also hope to see you soon again.
Yes, of course. Thank you so much. Much success to everyone. Have a great Q4.
I hope this video will help you to recover money owed to you through Amazon reimbursements, especially during the Q4. If you are interested in what Getida does, check the link in the video description. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe buttons to see more content like this and leave a comment if you have any questions. And now, I recommend you to watch this video for more Q4 tips.